Okay, well, everybody catch your breath. This is a big morning this morning. We have our wonderful Richard going from this dial to that dial to the telephone because we have a lot of great little guests that are on this morning. Kellie Hoodiman from the Neptune Society. She was there at the Boomer Expo, and we had such a blast, didn't we, Kellie?
Oh, it was an awesome event.
It was.
It was really good. A lot of people with some great spirit in them.
Yeah, they were. And of course, representing the Neptune Society is very special. My husband has always said it's the Neptune Society. That's really what I want. And of course, years ago, it wasn't as popular. And I must say that everyone had a burial. It was burial at sea. We didn't have that except you're in the Navy. But most people had their caskets and they were buried. But, nowadays, I think it's probably up 50% to be cremated and having the Neptune Society take you out to see you, and however you do that. And I'd like that explained, Kellie, please.
Well, you're talking about the percentage, and currently in the nation, it's about 38% nationally.
Amazing.
Not 50% on the national level. But in our area, we are, I would say, 60 to 70%.
Amazing.
Our particular area, but with Neptune, of course, that's all we offer, so we're 100%.
Right. And I love that name, the Neptune Society. And I know you do some different things from 50 years. You've been around for a long time, haven't you? Not you specifically, but...
1973.
1973, the Neptune Society was started?
40 years.
40 years. Okay, how has it changed?
The changes have been very minimal in the line of what is offered. It's always been a cremation society with membership. Initially, they didn't offer pre-planning with payment to guarantee the cost. They didn't offer the travel protection where no matter where you pass away in the world, it's covered as long as you have the protection plan. That has all developed through the years of the laws changing and what's allowed through the insurance companies that fund that type of protection, and has evolved into people being able to go wherever they want to travel and not worry about what happens if they have to come home in another form. We take care of all of the arrangements. All they do is call the 1-800-NEPTUNE. It's just really easy. We don't have the traditional viewing and services that some of the traditional funeral homes offer. We are direct cremation, as it's called, and that just means when the passing occurs, we bring the decedent into our care, and we take care of all of the documents. Of course, there's things the family has to provide, information and signatures that have to be obtained, but other than that, any services that are going to take place, the families arrange on their own to celebrate the life of their loved one in any way that they have chosen as appropriate for their family.
That's the word, celebrate, isn't it?
It is. That's become the word.
And when I think about it...
Party when I die, don't
right.
Go look at me and have a party. Celebrate.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, though, the water holds a fascination, of course, for me. We happen to live on the ocean, and we absolutely, it makes a difference in your life. And you think that beautiful, beautiful space, that ocean, where you're going to now create more energy as your ashes are put there. See, it's very important, and people don't understand that. Our first guest this morning was an energy healer, and we know there's a lot of energy in the world, and for me, to put that energy, I mean, it's one thing if someone goes to, I call it old-fashioned, to have a casket in the ground, but to go ahead and to be able to just take and have ashes there in the air and then in the ocean, I don't think there's anything, it's quite romantic if you want to call it something romantic. I love the idea.
Well, it isn't the only thing that we offer with the Neptune Society. It's not just placing in the sea. People can have their remains back. That's kind of a misconception of what Neptune is.
Oh, good. Tell me that, because I have a misconception.
Yep. We are not totally cremate and scatter at sea. We give the families options, and in fact, most people do have the cremated remains returned to them for placement in their family spots somewhere, because Florida is very transient and cremation is very portable. So they do take their cremated remains to their homes, to their local cemeteries. The veterans with our national cemetery right there in Lake Worth, most of the veterans, in fact, placed at the National Cemetery because the cemetery portion of the arrangement is no charge to the veteran. And so that is an option that many also will choose, with the cremation being just the initial disposition and then the final disposition being either in the home, in a cemetery, or scattered somewhere else that someone enjoyed being at.
Can't you just sprinkle some of my ashes in the ocean, please?
We can do all of them. We can give the family a small portion in a keepsake or a necklace, or there's so many things that people do with the cremated remains. There's no right or wrong. There's no norm. Everyone has their own unique ideas. But sure, if you want to go in the ocean, Anita, you're going in the ocean.
Thank you. You know. Well,
and whether we do it formally on a yacht with family present, or we do it privately, that's all an independent.
It could be a little rowboat, Kelly.
There you go. We could do in one of those little canoes we see.
Right. Canoe.
But we got to go 3 miles out.
Oh, that's interesting.
We got to be careful with the EPA and the Coast Guard regulations. 3 miles out, they're at a depth of 1,000 feet, so there's always rules with everything.
Well, I don't think we're going to do this in a rowboat or a canoe.
Rowing 3 miles.
That's right. Oh, boy. Well, Kelly, this is Kellie Hoodiman is my guest from the Neptune Society, and I'm going to give you a phone number. I don't have an 800 number. Do you want to give me that, please?
The 800 number is really easy. 1-800-NEPTUNE.
Oh, well. Okay, 1-800-NEPTUNE. That's great. Yeah, so how long have you been with the Neptune Society?
7.
7 years.
6.
Let's see, we're losing you. Are you on a cell phone?
Don't even. 8.
Okay. I didn't hear that last thing, so it looks like you may be... are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. What did you say? We didn't get that.
I was translating the 1-800-NEPTUNE.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Go ahead and do that then. 1-800, what is Neptune? Translate.
And Neptune is 637-8863.
Okay, but that's very good. That this is one of the times, though, where that 800 Neptune is very important, because it's easy to remember that. Well, you certainly cleared up something for me this morning. I was not understanding that the Neptune Society was more than just having ashes put in the sea. Was that the way it started?
Anita, I can't even say that honestly. I know that the reputation is very, very much the scatter at sea, but I don't know if that's always been the only option, or if it started as the only option. I couldn't say that for a fact, but that prior to me joining Neptune Society, I was under that impression as well, that most everyone scattered at sea, and that isn't really the case. More don't than do.
Well, you certainly have a great reputation, and that's very important in this business, I must say, and it is a business. I mean, having your funeral arrangements is a business, but there are a lot of people that come and go in this, I don't want to say profession, but in this business, and but the Neptune Society has an outstanding reputation, and it has, as you said, for 1973, for heaven's sakes, that's that's about 40 years. 40 years
this year. Mm-hmm.
Very, very exciting. And I'm certainly happy that people like you are involved in this profession. For a long time, people weren't as jovial and upbeat, and it was like, this person just died, and we're going to now have to figure out what to do with them. But I see it's attracted a lot more women, because for years, I started the company about 25 years ago here, and all the funeral directors were men. There were never any women.
Right. Well, I was licensed 30 years ago in South Florida, so I've been down here for 30 years. And when I went to school, it was about 10% women. Mm. And now I don't even know the percentage of women, but it's very, very high.
That's right. Well, I would always think that women do have a certain kind of a natural compassion too, and to help people. But not saying that men don't, but it is wonderful to see
there's a portion of the job, so to speak, that's very physical, and I think that's probably why it wasn't for women. But as women have evolved into medicine, even with doctors used to be men too, and all of the professionals that were once men have brought the women into the profession, or the women have come into the profession and have been welcomed with open arms and have done a beautiful job for the families and clients that they're serving. And what's the difference? We're soft and we're nurturing and we're there to help people through a tough time.
Yeah, that's very true.
What we do, and some people don't make any plans in advance for their death. They want to avoid the subject. I talked to a lot of people yesterday who, oh no, we're not going to die, jokingly, of course. And the question that I always have is, what would you do if you woke up in the morning and your loved one didn't wake up beside you?
Good question.
It's not something that I say has to be made with Neptune Society. Of course, we would love that if your choice is cremation without viewing or services. But just making the plans, regardless if you're going to be sent back to your home state or if you're going to be buried locally or if you want to be cremated with viewing and service, Neptune isn't for you. But if you're not wanting viewing and services, Neptune certainly is the option. That is something I would encourage investigating. And it's just something, a plan that people should have. They plan for their estates. They get their wills in place. They have life insurance. They have their cars insured. Everything is planned except for this very last important event that creates such panic when the time comes to make the decision. And it just, people should make those phone calls and inquiries to places that they would be interested in contacting for their arrangements. And 1-800-NEPTUNE is my encouragement. If cremation with no viewing or service is an option, especially if you travel, we've got the protection that no matter where you are, you will be brought home.
Ah, well, that's interesting. I don't know what that is.
It's an insurance that when you buy Neptune's plan, no matter where you go, through the world, you can be traveling on a cruise, and people do pass away on cruises, and you call 1-800-NEPTUNE, and we enact the process to have you cremated where you are, and your cremated remains are brought home.
You know, you never think, at least I never think about that if you do have become, a fatality somewhere or you die, what happens if you're not home? And typically if you've gone to a funeral director, and they probably don't have those kind of services.
No, in most cases you have to pay for what you are receiving where the death occurs, and then when you get back to your home where your pre-arrangements are in place, you provide a death certificate and cancel the arrangement that you had. Some funeral homes have an insurance plan, but it's only the amount of the plan. So say someone bought a cremation in South Florida for $1,500 and they die in Massachusetts where it's $3,000. The family is responsible for the difference.
Very, very good point, Kelly. Well, Kelly, it's
100% covered with the exception of legal documents that the states or countries or counties may charge, death certificates and medical examiner's permit fee.
Well, there's a lot of red tape, but you want to go with a good organization in the Neptune Society. That's it. So,
there's so much to know. I just encourage people to make a phone call.
Thank you so much, Kelly. It's 1-800-NEPTUNE, 1-800-NEPTUNE. Thank you again. Have a great weekend, and thank you for being at the expo. Our next one will be in July, so just make a date with us.
Thanks, Anita.
Thank you, Kelly. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.